Dr. G Show.
Is that right?
That was good.
All right, welcome to the Dr. G Show. I'm Dr. G, and this is the boss.
Holly Hajaj, I'm going to say it first.
Shit.
Say it first so you don't say the worst. Get it?
I've gotten to demolish your name 141
But
times.
not tonight.
Damn it.
I set a boundary. Hello, Sarah. Welcome.
I saw a picture of Sarah today with, her friend
Hi,
had a
Jeff.
tiara. That's right.
And Heather.
Heather. All right, so this is episode 142.
2000.
Hello.
Hello.
And this is take 34 of our live show, so that's pretty good.
We need lots of takes.
Yes. So,
I don't know how long it takes this guy to get his lighting right, but anyways,
it's all good. We look 10 years younger with that lighting. It's all nice.
Okay.
And I got new glasses. And they
His
said
compliment for this week is that I like his glasses.
Aw. They look very trustworthy.
Oh my gosh.
You know where the gym is?
Wow.
No, they look really good, especially if
They
you go
look
like
really.
this.
You look really trustworthy with your bicep right up next to your.
What if I go like
glasses.
this? Hey, girl. You know, I don't like them poisoning your food like that. Shut up. All right. So, today we are talking more about what the hell's in our food.
Toxic chemicals. I can't stop, and I apologize for that. Yes, toxic things.
Toxic things.
We've been doing that for the past couple of shows. You know why we're continuing to do it today? Because there are so many toxic things.
Yeah. So we talked about a lot of the stuff in the food, which is pretty horrifying. I actually did this genetic report for a patient, and holy crap, like I had to break down like every possible contingent of benzene derivative and where it's used. And eventually I got to the point of like, yeah, we probably deserve all this. Like, oh my God, we are just like poisoning everything that we eat, drink, breathe, rub on our skin, and wear with things that cause genetic mutations and cancer and autoimmunity and hormone disruptions. And then nobody can seem to figure out why.
So how do you guys feel about this? Because there's some cognitive dissonance that goes along with this discussion. This may trigger some people. Like, how do you live your life toxic free, knowing all these things? Do you even want to? Is it convenient? How do you feel about that?
Yeah, that's a good question, because it's ignorance and complacency. People don't know or they don't care. Like, they're just like, everything causes cancer. Well, no, everything that causes cancer that you eat, drink, and breathe, rub on your skin causes cancer, but not all the stuff that doesn't.
Well, right. People think, it's something extra I have to think about.
Yeah, and it gets overwhelming because, oh my God, in the beginning when you start going through all this stuff and you're just like, really? Really? Like, why would you put that in our food? Why would you do this? Like, and we're the only country, right? Most every other country bans these things, so they don't have to figure it out. I mean, our bread will get you 12 years in prison in another country, like Singapore, but here, you get a promotion for messing up people's thyroids with it.
As long as you're bringing in the dough.
Yeah.
Once you get rid of the change, it's easy. Yes, yeah, and so that's the thing. It's like the more you learn, the simpler everything becomes, and living life actually becomes extraordinarily simple. But it's getting to that point that's difficult.
Cutting through the bullcrap. Because really, like, eating healthy should be cheap and flavorful.
Yeah, I don't know how often I hear it's too expensive to eat healthy. It's too expensive to eat healthy. I hear that constantly.
Yeah. For me, or?
Yes.
Well, and that's the thing, is if you want to eat crap and junk food that's healthy, it's expensive, but like the poorest countries on earth eat the most flavorful foods, and they're cheap.
They're doing more with less.
That's right.
Yep.
That sounds like it would be inappropriate.
Only to those who think inappropriately.
Well, we want to do something a little different this summer too. So we'll start on our topic as we go. Have questions for us. Make sure you post those and interact.
Alfredo's here.
You don't know Alfredo.
I do. We are besties.
How is that?
We're better friends than you guys.
How do you know
Okay.
Alfredo?
I'm not telling.
Man, that's some bull crap. See? It's because he's vegan. You know how to tell...
No, he's been on the show before.
Alfredo's never been on the show?
Yes, he has.
Like, watching
I like how you remember everything about our shows.
He's never been on the show.
Yes. You made Italian jokes.
You can't just call every guy Alfredo.
Okay.
So, this summer, what we want to do is something a little kind of interesting. So, we're not going to do our typical kind of show, but we want to do like on location kind of really cool, interesting things. So, to kind of like expose you guys to new things that maybe you're not used to and kind of we're not used to. And so, we came up with a little list, but I want your guys' opinions too. So, one thing we thought was aerial yoga. So, you like that too, right?
That's something I've always wanted to try.
Yeah. So we jump out of a plane and do yoga poses. No. What is aerial yoga?
You use these silks, aerial silks,
Yeah.
and kind of hang like a trapeze artist.
So they
and do
wrap it
yoga
around
poses.
their legs and stuff.
Yeah.
Is it safe?
Everything has a little bit of risk. Okay.
Can a guy with a dad bod do it?
I
That's the real question.
hope so.
So Christina Duncan does it. Hopefully we can get it with
Can
her.
a girl with a dad bod do it?
So that would be a fun thing, doing a aerial yoga and watching me try really hard, but then you probably doing like awesome at it.
I don't know.
And there's
I
the
don't know.
deprivation
We're
chamber.
gonna be vulnerable.
Yeah, I'm always vulnerable. Always.
Can
What about
we?
if I do this?
I'm feeling a little bit uncomfortable and would like to get back to the show.
Get a little predator here. Okay, so deprivation chamber.
Not oxygen. It's sensory deprivation.
Oh, sensory deprivation. Okay, so basically
You
there's
float
a
in water.
thing in,
Go on.
so there's a thing in Wichita. Do you know what it's called?
No.
So we gotta contact them. But you lay in salt water, and then like the dome thing closes, and then like
I think
there's
that
nothing.
would be like amazing. I'm the kind of person that quiet is just the most peaceful thing. I go to the library in the be quiet section, like the no noise section, and I put in earplugs in the no noise section, and it's like the most wonderful thing ever. You can hear your own thoughts. I'm overstimulated otherwise.
Mine's always like, destroy all the books, destroy all the books. Yeah, so I think that'd be pretty fun. Yeah. Do they have
We'll
music
see what it's
inside
like.
there or TV or something?
We'd have to have us both on camera. We're going to have to figure out how this is going to logistically
Will they let us do
work
that together?
So he's saying we're doing it, but I'm tentatively saying
Do you
we're
go in
doing
naked or do you have a swimsuit? Do you know?
it. You probably wear... It's a float tank. Thank you, Alfreda.
What if you pee in it? Can you pee in it? I bet you can pee in it.
I'll bet there's a dye in there that when you pee in it, it looks like you're bleeding
That's
out.
called urine trouble. I have to figure out the pee situation. How long do you stay in there? Do you know?
Long enough for you to have to go pee.
We did a
don't
Indian
think
sweat lodge. Remember that?
A Native American sweat lodge?
Native American sweat lodge. I dragged her to it.
No, I dragged you to it.
She
and
dragged
I
me.
dragged you to meditation as well.
You did.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That's right. In mindful group. That's right. And got me into yoga.
I pretty much saved
Yeah.
your life.
Pretty much. You pretty much did. That changed my whole life, the whole direction of
The
everything.
whole trajectory.
We thought about acupuncture as an idea too, if you guys would watch. And we'll try to get them to use extra big needles, like thick needles for Holly.
Alfredo, have you done it before?
Whoa, he's got children. He's definitely done it before.
30 minutes to an hour for the float tank.
Oh, he don't know.
Okay.
He's a vegan.
How do you know he
Vegans are
does?
scared of chambers.
You don't know what everybody's done or hasn't done. Okay.
So, hey, there's Brie. You see? So I can't. Looks the same. All right.
Now that you have new glasses.
I know.
Okay.
Okay, then there's belly dancing. So we thought that would be pretty fun. So that people all the time, like I built a car, I built a house, I rebuilt my laptop, and then people are like, oh, is there anything you can't do? Dance and sing and play instruments.
I want to dance flamenco.
Oh, I could do that. Be like that. Oh, dancing would be fun. Sway dancing.
Yeah. Sway dancing?
No, it's
Swing dancing?
The Sway is the dance studio down in
okay.
Delano.
Okay.
But belly dancing, I could do belly dancing. I'd be working that. Like I have no moves. Like it would just be like horrible.
Alfredo says he's done the float take several times, so you need to quit underestimating him.
He's just bragging. Yeah, man, totally did float tanks. Not a big deal, bro.
You're just jealous because you haven't done it yet.
I know. I'm a float tank virgin.
Okay.
Have any of you guys done float tanks legitimately besides people that make it up like Alfredo?
I do think it would be healing. I love the water.
Yeah, it's salt water too. So you can drink
Why
it.
does salt make a difference?
Because you have buoyancy.
By the way, I had
What?
a person ask me, does Epsom salt reduce inflammation?
Yes.
How?
You absorb all that magnesium up in there. You'd be like, get that magnesium all up in my body.
How does the magnesium reduce the inflammation?
Well, it's not like we're trying to synthesize a methylated alcohol.
One of these days, I'm just going to push him off camera when he starts that. And you'll just have to deal with me, and I apologize.
That's the funniest thing ever.
Okay.
I love that. Okay, possibly like a ropes course. They have that at like the trampoline
Speaking
place.
of trampoline place,
at
they've
the
got it at the
facility.
different camps around town.
We go to camp, like Girl Scout camp.
Speaking of camp, Healthy Kids Day is this Saturday, the 27th, at Camp Hyde in
Valerian.
No.
Vulva. Vulcan. Voltron.
It's over by Clearwater and Goddard, and it starts with a V.
Oh, Ashley would know.
Does anybody know? Why can't... Oh, wait, I have it here.
Valencia.
Viola, Kansas.
Oh, it's pronounced Viola.
I think it's Viola.
A viola.
Well, when you play it, it's a viola.
That's
but I think the town is...
That's like Arkansas River versus Kansas River.
It's pronounced Viola. Camp Hyde, tons of fun things for kids to do. 27th from 1 to 4:30. It is free.
Sarah knows what's up.
It's at Vulcan.
Vulcan.
Planet Vulcan.
And then what about goat or cat yoga? What do we
Spock
say?
is my jam.
Dr. G.
This is my gang sign.
Dr. G. In the Vulcans. All right. So what about like cat yoga? I don't know if I can
Cat
make
yoga.
I don't know if I can make my cats do yoga. No, they let the cats run around and they
Our
climb on
show
top of
has
you.
just completely lost all of its legitimacy.
What about wine yoga?
We'd lost 99% before.
What about wine yoga?
What?
So think of some other things that we could do this summer besides me going to Thailand to lecture. That's right. So I'll be gone 1 week. I don't want to brag or anything, but
Okay.
you know, people in other countries have to be educated too.
I really apologize that none of you have learned anything in the first 15 minutes of our show. So, but if you're enjoying yourself, then maybe we've done our job.
See?
What?
Bree's cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Down to business. Are you ready for
Are we going
this?
to talk about stuff?
We're going to talk
All
about
right.
toxic additives.
Toxic additives. What about karaoke? That'd be funny. I'm so bad at karaoke.
And I'm so...
You'd be great.
I've won a couple of awards in my day.
We could do, because I did this thing at Moxie's Bar and Grill in Newton, and I did Islands in the Stream. That's Kenny Rogers.
We could do that together.
I thought I was going to nail that, but it didn't tell you who the girl part is and the boy part, so then we were like getting confused. And like, she sings great. She's like, oh, I can't sing at all. And then she's like, and she's like, great.
Was it
and
just like that?
I don't know. And I was horrible, like painful. So I was just like, oh, I can't sing. And then when I got to act, she was like, yeah, you cannot sing.
Better stick to doctoring.
Mm-hmm. So
Okay.
that's
All
why I
right.
gotta do stuff like, where's the gym?
Oh my God. So, quick recap before we get into it.
All right, we talked about
Coal tar.
Coal tar.
Remember coal tar.
coal tar.
Shira's lover.
Coal tar.
Coal tar. Okay. I don't know if anybody really gets that joke, but
Nobody.
I sort of think it's funny.
We're too old.
What else we talked about? Benzene.
Hey,
What?
as you've gotten gray hair, I feel like you've always been like a mother to me.
Why do you got to keep bringing up my gray hair? Why do you cut? There isn't any gray hair. I don't know what you're talking about.
Ah, see. Maturity.
Okay. Benzene.
Benzene.
In any ingredient list, if you see BENZ,
Yeah.
throw it away.
So the only good Benz is a
I'm not gonna say it.
Mercedes-Benz.
Ben's and Jerry's ice cream.
Benz and Jerry.
Remember that was the joke.
You made that joke last
I
time.
think that you have Alzheimer's.
That joke is like...
I didn't make that joke. Somebody else did, and it was funny. All right, xenoestrogens.
Oh, xenoestrogens, yeah. So that's phthalates
Plastics.
and parabens. Bisphenol A, which is... They're all from benzene anyways.
Okay.
But those are ones that mess up your estrogen. So they'll be in foods and drinks.
And girl, you know we need our estrogen balanced.
Balanced.
Mm.
Uh-huh.
Or at least not as imbalanced as
That's
it
right.
normally is.
If somebody tries to get you to drink out of bisphenol A, you're like, bye, Felicia. And you just need to cut those people out of your life.
Yeah, you don't need that kind of stress in your life. What else? Toxic metals.
Yeah, like heavy metal.
Hey, have we talked about
Grunge.
fillings, tooth fillings?
Tooth fillings. We did that show on Alzheimer's. So tooth fillings, if you remember, the very first...
Tooth
What did you
filling?
say? Can you spell it?
I don't know.
Oh, I can spell it. IT. All right. So...
Okay.
65% of your silver fillings are silver colored from mercury, and we did that show
60% of the filling itself
right,
is made of mercury.
mercury,
Okay.
right? So mercury is so toxic that, no, I'm just kidding, it's safe when they put it in your mouth, but if they drop it on the floor, they can't pick it up because it's too toxic. They can't take that from the floor with tongs and then jump it in the toilet because that's too toxic. They can't dump it down the sink. That's too toxic. They can't throw it out in the yard. Too toxic, right? I mean, we don't want to destroy the environment and fish. That would be sad.
So what are we supposed to do? Just go dig out the fillings out of our teeth?
Well, some people have no feelings. So, like, I had 2 sets of mercury fillings. And I asked to get those removed and replaced with porcelain. And she said, why do you want these removed? And I said, because they're neurotoxic. And then she says, well, only a little bit. And I was like, well, I'm going for the none because I don't want Alzheimer's and I'm planning on living a long time. And then she's like, well, porcelain's like $15 more. I'm like, okay, fine, I'll take that. Like $15 more and I don't get Alzheimer's? That's awesome.
Is that something your insurance will pay for?
To get Alzheimer's, yeah.
To get porcelain instead of...
Yeah, mine did. Because you have 3 types. You have bisphenol A, which we said was estrogen. So they put estrogen in your mouth as fillings. Or they put mercury, which is neurotoxic. Or porcelain, which is not toxic at all.
Yeah, but
Or gold,
the
you can
insurance...
gold.
I mean...
Yeah, insurance covers all that.
Huh. Okay.
If I did it over again, I'd get gold. Get a whole
You
grill,
would.
little diamonds right here.
You would.
I'd be like Paul Wall.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So toxic metals, aluminum, Teflon. You still... Are you done laughing about your own joke?
No, it's good the way you said that. I was just like, okay.
He wears me out sometimes, guys. I just can't help it.
And we used to work together all the time. All right.
Okay, fertilizers and pesticides.
Yeah, so we said permethrin or diatomaceous earth.
Or citronella.
So diatomaceous earth. Oh, citronella.
You could also
Cedar
use
oil.
borax.
Nice. Borax. Or hedge apples, which hedge apples, they say when I was a kid, they're poisonous, but they're not. Hedge apples are free vegetables that are growing like crazy. And I had a patient that actually slices them up and he bakes them and eats them. They're not toxic.
But they're a pesticide?
Well, so if you take horse apples and put them like under your cupboards and stuff, or
Yeah.
like even at Beautiful Day Cafe,
Yeah.
Charlotte and Lincoln put out hedge apples in front, and that's because bugs don't like those. So like roaches, the cockroaches, they did not like it. That's not Spanish.
Yeah.
Cockroaches no like it.
I'm sure that other people noticed that as well.
Dang it.
So, hedge apples.
Hedge apple.
Borax.
You know how I got through Spanish in college?
Citronella.
I just made everything sound inappropriate.
Yes.
So
I
I'd
believe
say,
you.
they'd be like, ¿Cómo está? I'd be like, ¿Cómo está?
You really just sound like you're pooping, but that's just me. So, let's move on to our topic for tonight.
Okay.
Toxic additives.
Toxic additives. So, what about like sodium lauryl sulfate?
Why do we care about sodium lauryl sulfate? Do we see this in our shampoos and conditioners?
Yes. Shampoos, conditioners, dishwashing liquid, detergents, all kinds of stuff.
Does it make things bubbly?
I feel like you know the answer to this. Yeah, they make them bubbly. But the question is then, why do you have to add a bubbly agent
Because it's
into soaps and shampoos and detergents?
it spreads easier. It spreads easier. Why?
Why?
Bubbling agent. Because it doesn't bubble very much.
Boom! And why doesn't it bubble very much? Blue's Clues? Because it's not real.
Why doesn't it bubble? Because it's not cool.
Because it's petroleum. Why doesn't it pop?
I don't know.
Because it's not soap anymore. It's not lye soap or glycerin soap. So traditionally, you took animal fat, or human if you're in New Guinea, and you mix it with lye. So like political speeches, you can mix it right in there. And then that makes this soap from animal soap, and it bubbles when you use it. So that lathers, right? So we're used to that.
It does lather.
It lathers so hard. And then if you don't want, if you're like Alfredo and you're scared of animal soap, then you use vegetable soap, right?
Okay.
And you strangle those vegetables. So you murder some plants, and then you take and make glycerin soap, which is vegetable soap. And vegetable soap has
Does not bubble.
chylomicrons also, so it lathers up. So then soap lathers. But what if we could take petroleum waste products and old fertilizers and other chemicals and make soap out of it and shampoo?
How much lathering actually occurs?
With what? Animal soap? Animal soap's just like ivory. Yeah?
Okay.
Yeah. So then, if you add that to, or if you then make petroleum-based soap, like Zest and Coast and Dove and Caress.
Irish Spring.
Irish Spring. Oh, the bloody Irish. That's terrible too.
Yeah, it was.
All right, so let's chalk that up to what Patrick can't do. Fake accents. Although I can do British. Hey, right
don't.
now, mate. Good eye. That's not even British. Okay, so Way off.
Soap.
This is the last time I do meth before a show.
Soap.
So.
Animal-based, vegetable-based.
So they have to add sodium lauryl sulfate or lauryl sulfate to the petroleum to make it lather as if it's real soap so we can make more profit.
But I've bought products at the all-natural grocery store that had like 3 ingredients in them.
Straight up.
And they did not lather.
What?
The way
That's not the direction I thought we were going.
Biolage
What are you talking about?
lathers.
No, so like the natural products, they use like orange oil and lemon oil. They don't lather. So that's bullcrap. When I first got like natural like dishwashing soap and you put it in your washing dishes and there's no bubbles.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, this is bullshit.
Yes.
Like, is it working? Not working. So you know what they started doing? Adding lather agents. So then natural products started putting sodium lauryl sulfate in there.
What were they not putting in there that should have been lathering?
Glycerin soap.
Okay.
Or animal soap.
Okay.
They just use real fat from those and...
And they're not because that's more expensive?
Right, you make it more profitable. Well, I don't know why they do it the natural. I don't know. But part of the like post-1990 like stock industry, you know, they trying to get you to use all your waste products, make new products. So then they're figuring out all these ways we can use this stuff that we used to throw away and make new products. So part of that's natural products. And so then you just take those orange oils from making the orange juice that's in the peel, and then you use the peel pulp for this, and then you have another product, so then you make that, but then it doesn't lather up, so then you have to add a lathering agent.
So the byproducts of, okay. They're trying to make it out of the byproducts of other things, or just the ingredients.
Trying to make more
from
profit from stuff. So
Okay.
instead of just sticking with the stuff that we've always used forever. So that's where you'll see that in those products. But the only one that is truly toxic, straight up, is SLES, sodium lauryl ester sulfate.
Why?
Let's ask them.
Who's the expert? So sodium lauryl sulfate is bad, but it's not terribly toxic. Lauryl sulfate is bad, but not actually toxic. Sodium lauryl, what'd you say?
Ester sulfate.
Ester sulfate.
Straight up toxic.
Straight up toxic,
Yeah.
yo.
Mm-hmm. It's a player hater.
Okay, write that one down. By the way, if we didn't mention in the previous show, I know we did in the first show, there is an app that you can download called Ingrid or Ingrid.
Ingrid.
It looks like Ingrid. Ingrid, like the name Ingrid.
That is how you spell the name Ingrid.
Yeah. But it's short for ingredients.
That's weird.
Get it? So, download that app. You can take a picture of your whatever label, ingredient labels.
If I ever meet a girl named Ingrid, I'm going to be like,
Ingrid.
is that short for ingredients?
Is
Okay.
your middle name Edience?
That's even better.
Edience.
And then she'd be like, what? And you're like, you're out.
So, check out that app if you're completely baffled by this talk and know that you're not taking notes, and you know you're not going to remember this when you go to the store. So,
Then what? Oh, because you get that. What's the other one? And Healthy Living app's pretty good. It's
okay.
you know.
It's aight.
It's like a good side app, you know what I'm saying?
So, or you could just go the other way and not worry about what not to look for, but just only look for things that look fewer ingredients, less ingredients, more simple labels with things you can pronounce. Yeah?
Yeah.
So what else on beauty products? So sodium lauryl sulfate, we see that in beauty products. Talk to me about this one.
You mean methylbenzolidine?
Can you
camphor?
say it? When I was a kid, okay, this is a moment of vulnerability.
Hey, we don't get off track here.
Yes, we do. So I was very competitive as a child and had somewhat of an imagination. But when I would go to the bathroom, I would race myself. So I would see if I could read all the ingredients on the shampoo bottle as fast as possible to see if I could beat my time pooping, because I didn't have that much control at that time with pooping. And so I try to race myself, like, can I read this faster? Then I can poop. Go.
You're like, water, camphor, camphor, oil, dimethyl. God, that's a lot of corn. Like that.
Or I would count the letters, and in that particular word, there's a lot of letters.
I think
methylbenzolidine.
I think you should have put on your application when you worked at Barnes & Noble, because I think that would have got you instantly hired.
I got instantly hired anyway based on my charm.
Oh, I see.
So, go on. Talk to me about that.
So, with essential oils, same thing. Like, all essential oils are great medicines. They're not a panacea for everything. So, stick with the essential oils that are the most well-researched for the specific conditions that you're looking for. Which sometimes I'm very surprised. There was a patient yesterday who had laryngitis, and I had my ideas, but it turned out sandalwood was the most well-researched one for topical application for laryngitis. So that was pretty cool. And actually I stole some of her her sandalwood, put it in my finger and put it on neat on the back of my throat. I think you drink that stuff.
So why did we veer off to essential oils?
So because that is essential oil, camphor.
Okay.
So those are great. So you can use you can put...
But not methylbenzolidine camphor.
What, are you trying to jump to the end of the movie?
I'm just saying our people are asking. Thanks for the description, Dr. G. So.
Yeah. What?
Go on.
What did she say?
I don't know.
Oh, man.
Amish lathering agents.
Yeah.
Do the Amish use lathering agents?
Well, I think they just use animal soap.
Okay.
Yeah. So if they have some crazy ass name in front of it, it's not healthy. So
if
this is
oil, say like this one, camphor has a weird word in front of it.
Right. So what if we could take petroleum and make it or smell like camphor oil?
Okay.
Right. So that's where you got to be very careful, because if you get a diffuser from Bed Bath & Beyond and you get lavender from there, it's probably not lavender. It is probably dimethyl blah 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 lavender. It's just petroleum makes it smell like lavender. So like when I was giving a lecture at Nella's office, one of the guys, I think his name was John, had a essential oil diffuser, and he said, "Why does this smell differently than my other brand?" And I was like, "Well, this one's real and this one is a chemical formula."
Yeah.
Yeah.
You really notice the difference too when you start experimenting with those things. The difference between an essential oil and a fake.
Sometimes I like to get 2 or 3 essential oils. Just mix them together.
Oh my gosh, Dr. G.
Shut it down.
That's so
You
awesome.
need to shut up. All right, shut it down. SID.
Okay, what else for beauty products? Do you guys have any questions? Do you have anything at home that you're like, man, I really love my Scentsy, or man, I really love my whatever I have.
Oh, you can make enemies now.
I'm just being real.
Are you trying to get real?
I want to be real with yous. Because you know that happens. I have stuff at home.
What kind of stuff?
Stuff.
You have mostly cat-based stuff.
I had trouble giving up my Scentsy. But now, you know what I do instead? I just put a little bit of avocado oil or some kind of oil in there, and with some essential oil.
Yeah.
And it works great.
Yeah, and they have those little, like there's like little animals, they have a dip in their head, and then you plug them in, they have a light bulb in there, and you put your essential oil on the top, and that heats it up and diffuses out. Because like Glade air fresheners are horribly toxic. Horribly toxic. Now, if there's people you don't really like, get them the Glade air fresheners, right? But yeah, they're horribly toxic because it's benzene that is the aromatic ring that carries that artificial scent that's also made from benzene.
So use essential oils for your scents, people.
Yeah.
It's good scents.
God dang it. Is that what you always do?
Like, it's a role reversal. It's good sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah. So essential oil is great, but don't get the chemical ones. chemicalized.
You know, one thing I have not looked at in terms of ingredients at all for myself? Makeup.
Oh, it's all horribly toxic. There's a study in the U.S. Senate. Oh, actually, the U.S. Senate did a study on the cosmetic industry because it's that. I think cereals is one of the last self-regulating industries.
Cereals?
Yeah. So cereals used to say part of a healthy diet, and then the government was getting like, oh, hey, you guys are actually like horrible, and then they were like, whoa, we'll take that off, and then it's like it went from part of a healthy diet to part of a what is it? There was a change, but they took out the healthy so the government wouldn't mess with them, but it was just like part of a standard breakfast or something instead of.
How are they not regulated? How does that work?
Money. So what happens is since the Reagan administration, Donald Samuelson, oh, is that right? Donald Rumsfeld.
Uh-huh.
Like he used to, I think, work for Monsanto, and then Monsanto then helped fund and get elections, and then once those elections are done, they appoint people from their company into the government, federal agencies, and then those politicians also appoint people from those industries into those positions to oversee all those companies that are poisoning everybody.
But there are some that aren't being overseen at all.
Well, makeup and cosmetics and cereal. There might be a couple others if you guys know, but cosmetic is one that you'll notice they can say whatever they want and they don't have to back it up. So when they say, well, this is and I don't know the terms, but like all those
natural
girl terms, no, like it diffuses or volumizer.
Okay. Lash volumizer.
Yeah. So if they say it's a lash volumizer. Volumizer?
Uh-huh.
That doesn't sound right. If they say that word, they don't have to prove it really does anything. Which the vast majority of all claims made by cosmetics are not real. Right?
That's interesting because you see that word and you're like, man, that's going to make my lashes so full.
Like how it doesn't do.
And there's science behind that.
Right.
There's probably several animals that were murdered.
All these slutty little rabbits in the lab.
It's awful.
The guy's like, oh man, those bunnies look all volumized.
So, shall we move on? You have talc. Okay. All right.
So the U.S. Senate then commissioned the study, and they found out of 1,000 cosmetics, like 884 contain cancer-causing chemical irritants and hormone-disrupting chemicals. Almost a whole lot of them.
Yeah.
So with cosmetics, what you want to do is
not wear any.
You need to calm down.
But I can say whatever I
Are
want.
you a Mennonite woman in the Midwest?
I don't wear very much. I wear lipstick and mascara.
What about the blush?
That's my natural rosy cheeks. I don't use blush.
There's a thing on Facebook where she's doing a makeover from the 1990s. Did you see that one? It's that girl that you posted for something. Yeah. But one of the things was she said, make sure you use a base or foundation that doesn't quite match. It's like all those girls back in the 80s and 90s, they always had this line of different colored
line of demarcation.
Yeah.
In fact, I think she says that in the video.
That was funny.
Make sure to make a nice line of demarcation. Yeah.
Yes. So, they're all horrible. So wear very little, and then only buy stuff from the health food store, and still look them up. So
use cherries, like they do in the cartoons.
That's not real.
I'm just kidding.
Remember seeing cherries are toxic.
What?
They're red because of food coloring.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And it's high fructose corn syrup in that
Maraschino cherries are fake.
They're fake.
No wonder. I don't really like them.
Yeah. Well,
the more you know.
I saw on their Facebook that they didn't like you either. So.
Well, I don't care because they're not good for me. Okay.
Right. So wear very little to none. Just be you.
What about lotions?
And Environmental Working Group.org has a little thing on their site where you put 80,000 different products and you can put your cosmetic in there It'll tell you how toxic every single ingredient is.
What was it called again? Environmental what?
EWG.com.
Okay.
So environmentalworkinggroup.com. They're the ones that come up with that Clean 15 and Dirty Dozen each year too.
Okay, Environmental Working Group. Okay.
.com.
.com.
Just type in http
backslash
www.
Thank you for bringing us back to 1998. Okay, what else on beauty products? Can we talk about talc?
Talc? What do you guys know about talc?
I know that I learned about it in geology.
Ooh, pray tell.
It's a mineral.
It's a mineral.
Isn't it?
What's that game? Is it a mineral, animal, or a thing?
Vegetable?
No, that's not right. Don't you know that question game?
Tell us about it.
So mineral, it's a mineral that causes cancer. So,
but it is naturally occurring.
Yeah, so is cancer. So is benzene. So is arsenic. Right?
So just because it comes from the earth as is, it does not necessarily mean we should be using it. This was not chemically composed by a company somewhere.
Yeah, Johnson & Johnson. I'm pretty sure talc's not...
100% talc?
Is it talc? Is it 100% talc?
I don't know.
Do you guys know? What's baby powder? But talc by itself does cause cancer. And they just won 2 lawsuits at Johnson & Johnson against Johnson & Johnson, the family company who makes a bunch of cancer-causing, family-destroying products.
So no one should ever use talc
ever. Ever.
Are there any other drying agents?
Do you like your
powders?
Baby? If you don't like your baby, then you should. Like if your baby gets all mouthy and you're just like, oh hell no. Guess who's getting talc today?
How do you keep your bit parts dry?
By not peeing on them. That's what I tell my baby is that you gotta stop peeing on yourself like an animal.
Yeah, and did they listen?
They did. They don't pee on themselves now.
Yeah.
I had to tell them a lot, and then after the training it worked. So keep that like arrowroot. You can do that.
Arrowroot?
Cause
I was thinking about what else.
Yeah. I don't think that's really a thing though. Like people are putting that's that old person thing. Like that grandpas be like dusting up their junk. Like do people really do that?
Do people
like,
dust up their junk? Does anyone want to share?
I don't.
I think people do because I think
do
people get wet and chafed and uncomfortable. Well, I don't use a powder personally, but maybe other people do.
Do women powder up?
There's yes.
From what?
What do you mean from what?
I don't know.
They don't want to smell musty.
My whole life I've never had to do this.
They don't want to smell musty and weird downstairs.
Musty and weird.
And get sweaty and chafed.
Chafing from what?
I have one friend who uses almost like a Desitin. She does.
Yeah. Huh. Well, so like a good barrier one for that would be lanolin from sheep's wool.
Isn't that an oil?
Yeah, but it's real thick. It's like Vaseline. Like it's even thicker than Vaseline. So you cut it with some coconut oil, and then it ends up being like the same as Vaseline for a barrier control for chafing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or arrowroot powder.
Arrowroot powder.
Instead of talc. No to talc.
So you can
just say no.
So you can use coconut oil as sex lube. That's safe and works really good. And my patients love it. But I'm not going to say which patients.
Some people also put talc in their shoes.
Yeah, and then they could put arrowroot on their junk. So then they got the coconut oil, arrowroot, and if they have a yeast infection, they can grow bread.
Gross.
But gluten-free bread. That's healthy.
Disgusting. You're disgusting. And the show took that turn, as we always do.
Because that's oil, flour, and yeast. With probably sweat, so that's water.
The moral of the story is don't use talcum powder because it causes cancer. Like everything else that we've talked about in the last 3 shows.
Yeah.
Anything else?
These? We should do these.
Food additives. Oh, we're going to shift. Okay.
So.
Any questions, by the way?
Yeah.
You guys are kind of quiet out there.
Alfredo was chatting it up until he got shut down making
By
that
you.
stuff about the deprivation
I
chamber.
didn't shut him down. One of us cares about our audience.
Oh, he's
Okay.
He's my friend.
That's funny.
What?
She's making green faces.
Oh.
I think they're like sickened faces, probably from our last talc discussion.
Yeah, I can't believe you said that. So what about like high fructose corn syrup? So
Now food additives. Okay.
yeah, so a few years ago at Harvard Medical School, I did some continuing education on
Taking off your glasses.
non-alcoholic fatty liver disease
Stop!
and non-alcoholic steatohepatitis. And one thing is we used to say that was due to alcoholism. It would take someone 35 years of hardcore alcoholism to even damage the liver, the most regenerative organ. It took 35 years of hardcore Boone's Farm to do that. But now we can do it in 10 years or 5 years of just food. So high fructose corn syrup is your main one, and most people know that one.
That causes fatty liver disease.
Right. Worse than alcoholism. That is why I gave up high fructose corn syrup and started drinking more. Dun-dun-dun-dun. So, same thing with agave. Agave nectar, which Holly thought was really good.
At one point in my life, I did think it was good.
Yeah. But
I'm surprised you remember that about me.
it's the kind of good, like, oh my God, I love agave. Yeah, but he's been cheating on you and stealing your credit cards.
Well, agave will still affect the liver in the same way.
Straight up, because of the way that they process it. Now, if they
And-
didn't process it that way, it'd be fine. And in tequila, it's fine, but not as a sweetener.
What are they doing to process it that's different?
They high fructinase it.
Is that a real term?
It starts out fructinated, but then they high fructinate it.
Really bad. That high fructinated.
That's extra fructination. And fruct that.
So, corn products in general are inflammatory.
That's right. High omega-6, low omega-3.
And high fructose corn syrup is in a lot of things.
Stuff.
Does it have other names?
Yeah.
Like what?
Karo syrup.
Karo syrup.
That's what I grew up. Karo syrup with some Rice
We
Krispies.
did. When we did not have pancake syrup, we'd use Karo.
We did too.
Really?
That's ghetto.
funny.
Yeah. If you ain't got a job and your family's really poor, Karo syrup on your pancakes.
On your floor. Okay.
Was it a poor thing?
I think probably was a poor thing. We both ate high fructose Karo syrup, and we ate white bread in balls.
We did. Did anybody else take their bread, their Wonder Bread, and squish it? You really did that?
I took off all the crust
Yeah.
first. Yes,
Yeah.
you take off all the crust,
Yeah.
and then you put as many pieces together as you want to make a ball.
A ball.
And then you just eat it like an apple.
While you're watching cartoons.
Yes.
That was the best.
I thought I was the only one.
Dude, that's crazy that we both did that. I think it's only us.
That's why we're here.
That's right.
Because we've gone through a long road of recovery.
That's right.
So high fructose corn syrup, we do not want that. It's also going to be terrible for the blood sugar as well.
Oh yeah, really bad.
Same
Like,
with agave.
Real bad.
So we think agave is better than sugar, but it affects the blood sugar.
Not
just the
good
same.
bad. Real bad.
So,
Like waking up in the back of someone else's car in the middle of a field bed. In the trunk. No, we'll be waking up in the trunk. All
the
right.
bread has to have butter. That would be good, but it could be a little bit greasy.
Butter. Oh, you just take it and put the butter on the inside. Mold the butter into a ball. Put the loaf of breads around it.
Like it's a Bismarck
Boom.
donut with the butter in the center.
Did you eat frozen strawberries in the little milk carton? Did you eat it like that? Did you ever eat that? That was like the best treat ever, but it's all sugar.
No. But what I did do was came home every day from school and took 2 pieces of white bread and put American processed cheese in between it and melted it in the microwave. And I'd eat like probably anywhere from 3 to 6 of those for a snack after school.
Butter, and then I put brown sugar and cinnamon.
Okay, let's quit BSing. We got a couple of questions. Are all corn products inflammatory? What about organic corn products? Thank you for the question, Carolyn.
So, inflammatory arthritis would be from inflammatory corn, but then if you eat organic, then you have organic arthritis. Inflammation is inflammation, whether it's organic or not. It's just
You're just saying corn in general is bad for you?
That's what I just said. You said that earlier too.
By
Don't be crawfishing away from this.
But it grows in the ground like a natural grain. By the way, is corn on the cob bad?
Why do they call it corn and then corn on the cob? Because that's the original form. If they cut my arm off and then they call that arm Patrick,
they call it arm.
And then if they put the arm back on, it's the arm all together. That doesn't make any sense. Corn is the cob. They should be corn off the cob. See what I'm saying?
So,
these are some real issues.
By the way, I just want to say, corn is not a vegetable, okay?
Boom.
It is not a vegetable.
It's a grain.
If someone asks you what your favorite vegetable is, you cannot say corn.
What if your favorite vegetable is a tomato then?
That's a fruit.
What if your favorite nut's a cashew?
Oh, wait.
It's not a nut either.
Okay. So corn is a grain, and I think we should think about it more like a grain as well.
Yeah.
But are you, Dr. G, are you saying that no one should ever eat corn ever?
No, I mean, again, it's just the American diet is 40 times inflammatory as anti-inflammatory.
And it's got 40 times more corn in all of its products.
Right, 85% of your food is corn, soy, wheat,
so we're
dairy.
over-consuming it.
Right. So if you're once in a while with some organic corn chips, organic tortilla, but you're eating mostly fruits and vegetables, nuts, seeds, berries, legumes, and greens, then you'd be fine.
Okay, so just don't overdo the corn.
But if you have lots of inflammation, then ditch the corn. When
Ditch
the
it.
inflammation goes away, start the corn back. But only organic.
Okay. So, all right. Good call. Good questions. Oh, we did have one person ask, is the agave fruit itself
that's good.
okay?
No, that's great. Yeah, agave's wonderful. Right? Tequila's off the hook, right? But not the way they process it for sugar. So agave syrup.
Okay.
Yeah.
So whole food agave.
That's right.
Okay.
So then what about trans fats?
Transformed fats. Does anybody know what trans fats are?
Yeah. They're fats that identify with other fats of the same fat. But they were born that way. It wasn't a choice. Actually, trans fats weren't born that way. Trans fats were created because of high heat.
That's right. Thank you, Dave. I do it regularly, and I appreciate the support.
What?
I always have to get you to clarify.
I feel like
Because when you
if we were
start
talking
on your
about butter,
synthesize a methylated alkaloid, then we just lose you.
if we were talking about butter, she'd ask me to clarify it.
Oh, wow. That was probably the worst one tonight,
That's
that's new.
That is the best dad joke ever. And I made that's patent pending.
Okay, so we talked about high fructose corn syrup. And now we're going to talk about trans fats.
Trans fats.
So there are different kinds of fats. Not all fats are bad, but trans fats are bad. Why are they bad, Dr. G?
Did you know hippos make pink milk?
Where are you going with this?
And they sweat red. Did you know that? Totally off.
Please change the subject
So-
back to talk.
So with fats, there are these long carbon chains, and they're just constantly repeating, right? And then they have 2 carbons that are double bonded together with a double bond, and that makes it a liquid fat. So that's it's a unsaturated oil, right? Like olive oil. So if it has a double bond at those two carbons, then it's polyunsaturated, or at least unsaturated. And then
or PUFA.
PUFA. And then
why don't we just talk about why they're bad?
no, wait. So okay, at the double bond, then they have the hydrogens on the same side, like this, right? Like a goalpost. If the hydrogens are on the same side, so if they're like this, then the oil bends this way, right? But if you cook that at a high temperature, you can take that cis formation in chemistry and make it a transformation. And so now the oil bends a different way. And then that's a transformation in chemistry, not a cis formation, which is why you call it trans fat.
Transformation. And the way we cause these trans fats are by cooking high and quick.
Mm-hmm.
So at a high heat, very quickly. So we're thinking about lots of fast foods and restaurant foods, things that we cook at home very quickly, past higher than the smoke point of the oil.
Mm-hmm.
So this causes oxidation and inflammation within the body.
Boom. It only destroys the heart. Cooking impatiently like American only destroys the heart.
So we
It
want
only destroys the heart.
Can I get it, Amy? So you want to cook slow and low, and you want to use ideally more unsaturated fat, MUFAs and PUFAs. Ideally, right?
Yes.
So the other thing it can do, and Dr. G is gonna. He will contradict me if I say that it raises your bad cholesterol. So I'm not going to say that. But if you have excess cholesterol, trans fats can be a contributor to that.
That's right. Is MUFA and PUFA the same as FUPA?
Stop. Stop. I can't believe you brought that up.
That's like a...
Do you see the vein coming out in my forehead now? It's happening.
Yeah, we were talking about you have no wrinkles. In every episode, you start to form like veins.
They're stress veins.
You always want to find people that have crow's feet hair from smiling too much, right? Not the people that have a vein just pulsating through here.
So, MUFAs and PUFAs. If you are unsure about what kind of fats to eat, stick with MUFAs and PUFAs. Monounsaturated fatty acids and polyunsaturated fatty acids.
Which are?
Things like olives and somebody else caught it. There's always got to be something. Last show it was blue waffle. I did not look that up, by the way. Stop. So, we want good fats. We want omega-3s, like fish.
Yeah.
Fish oil.
Well, like olive
krill
oil, avocado.
Olive oil, avocado, nuts. Krill.
Fish oil. Avocado.
Stop.
Salmon.
So, stay away from the trans fats. By the way, the other thing you'll find trans fats in are basically your boxed and bagged items.
Ooh, big time.
So processed food items in the store. You don't think about it, but your cakes, your cookies, your crackers, flours, all of those donuts, all the things that we really love to snack on.
You can't be calling people crackers.
Probably full of trans fats.
What are the key words, though, they're looking for in the recipe?
Hydrogenated, partially hydrogenated. We want to avoid those.
Avoid them. Just a little bit or a lot? Avoid a lot?
A lot.
Like, how much trans fat is healthy?
And you'll also see it trans fat on the label as well. How much trans fat is healthy?
Yeah.
None.
That's right. Good job. See? You be rolling and controlling.
So what else we got? Any questions on high fructose corn syrup or trans fats? I know donuts are really delicious.
Donuts are all trans fat.
Don't tell anybody about it at Krispy Kreme.
There's sugar, trans... You went to...
I didn't go.
They have gluten-free donuts, so then you could be like, I'm eating gluten-free donuts.
They do?
No, that's not healthy.
Not that I want to, but I didn't know they had gluten-free.
Tell them about Medis.
Speaking of that. So
this is what we're going to wrap it all up.
Okay.
Wait,
We're gonna bring it around. Bring it back around. Bring it back around.
This way?
So I was feeling great this morning. I had my steel-cut oats and my egg for my morning breakfast. And my tummy, I struggle with bloating and stuff. And my tummy felt good. It felt like just comfortable. And then for a snack, I had some carrots and some hummus. And my stomach still felt great. And I was like, man, I'm not bloated at all. This is wonderful. And then I went to Meddy's. Now, this isn't to say anything bad about Meddy's. I go there a lot because it's delicious. But I did not know. I always say hold the pita, right? Because it's gluten and I don't need it and I'll be tempted to eat it. So I'm like, hold the pita. No
Wait,
pita.
that all rhymes. Hold the pita because I don't need it and I ain't going to eat it.
Yeah, that's right.
Nice, all right.
So, any hoozlebees. Then the guy comes over to the table and he's like, hey, did you know we have gluten-free
like
pita?
This? Hey.
He went like this. Hey, did you know that we have, okay. So then he came and he went and he said, we have gluten-free pita. And I said, what? I did not know.
Did you tingle?
I did. I had
Gluten-free pita? Woo! Oh dear.
So I said, let's do it. And he brought me gluten-free pita. It was all over after that. Histamines out the wazoo.
Felt horrible.
Bloated. Felt gross the rest of the day. That was it.
The secret is she probably broke his heart in high school. Just destroyed him. Now he's working this job and he watches her on the air all the time.
And he brought me some freaking wheat.
Why don't you ever let me finish my story? This is exactly why he did it. So then he's just like, oh, she don't even recognize me from high school, right? You crushed my heart. Oh, you want some gluten-free? And then he just
I'll get your gluten-free.
That's right. And
that's what he said. When he was talking to me, he was like this behind his back.
I bet they don't even have gluten-free. He was just saying, you want some Diet Coke and some gluten-free?
Next time I'm going to say, can I see the gluten-free package?
Boom.
So that I can look at the ingredients.
Yeah. So just because things have those kind of like health labels does not mean they're healthy.
Yes, you don't want fat-free. Chances are if it's fat-free, it's going to be loaded with sugar or salt.
It'll be sugary.
Sugary.
Or salty.
Mm-hmm.
If it's sugar-free, if it's sugar-free, then it's probably
it ain't
salty.
For me. Okay.
So you gotta do your whip. We gotta do it the same way. You are so white. I'm genetically
That's
black.
racist.
I'm genetically black. Why are all the crackers at the Ritz?
Whoa. Okay, we are moving on.
You want to do my Dave Chappelle?
No.
Chris Rock?
Okay, let's look at the rest.
I noticed your paper's white.
All right.
No, it's time.
Oh, we met.
Yeah.
This is what we get for fooling around through the whole show.
You weren't supposed to talk about that. Your boyfriend's watching. All right. So, remember, this summer, we need your ideas. We want to do some, on-location ideas. So, aerial yoga, belly dancing, acupuncture, ropes course, cat yoga.
Scuba diving?
Scuba diving. Dave Freeman taught me to scuba dive.
Dave Freeman is my friend. He's not your friend.
Dave
knows what's up.
Dave said, look, you're really my friend, but I tell her she's my friend. But you're really my friend, and she's just friend.
I've known Dave Freeman for a long time, so they're
in
his whole family, okay?
In a stalker way?
So we didn't finish our food additives. I do want to say that please ask questions if you have questions about those. But I do want to say that I will not be here the first Tuesday of next month.
God dang it.
I'm going to visit my mother. And you can't compete with that.
Why don't you just have a live feed from there?
So just FYI.
Okay. So when is that? You gotta tell me when that is.
I think it's next week. Is next week the first week of May?
Yeah, it's Final Friday this weekend, so yeah. So we need to have a special guest.
Special guest.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Why are you gonna leave us like this? You're just like my mom. All right.
All right.
Think of some great ideas of things you want to see us do or go kind of experience, and things that you guys are interested in too. And so we'll be your guinea
Things
pigs.
that won't show my belly fat.
I'm gonna do belly dancing with my shirt off.
I'm not. I'm gonna.
We could do a twerking contest.
Oh, I will lose. I will lose that. That is the one thing I believe that you could beat most people.
No,
in.
I don't have twerking movements at all.
You may not have the movements, but you've got junk in the trunk.
Oh, I got junk.
Ouch.
A lot of junk in the
Getting
trunk.
old.
All right.
Thanks for joining us tonight. We're over time. Appreciate you guys.
Yep. Now we're at time and a half.
Yep.
Don't touch that button.